Well, no track connected as yet, but I think it's time we got this all connected up and running. Right, decided to edit the a good chunk of that out, but as you can see now, we have it now connected. So the two main lines are in the distance about here. Both of these are now been connected. Run around this turnout here, as you can see by this third line over here, will eventually go into my peninsula here, which you can see is an absolute pigsty. But otherwise the two main tracks go run through and comes my actual bridge. Now this thing here has been essentially the biggest hold up. It's been a while since I've gotten any track work done, and it's mainly because I've been waiting on this. So when it did come, I put it together and I have painted it. So for those that don't know, this is the I think it's the 3-arch kit by Wills, and it's all stone. So I've painted it to look like blue stone, and haven't actually weathered it yet, but I've got it to the point where I'm happy with it, and I've still got to weather it and do other bits, but I thought it was good enough now to install while I do the other stuff. So I got the track put on there as well, and she's going to look quite good. Now I did have some of these little spare underpasses left, so I've attached the walls to them, as you can sort of see in there. It's a bit too dark really to tell, but put in the stone bits of wool in there, and that'll be a road going underneath this thing here. While that's been going on, I've also bought a couple of new things, well, probably more than just a couple of things. As you can see, I ended up getting the Hornaby Scaledale Granite Station building, ended up getting the Granite Station Goods Shed, and also got the Granite Station waiting room. So these things will be put on the actual layout. Now, I've made a bit of a change. This set of sidings over here was essentially going to be a bit of like a timber merchants or an industry of some sort. However, I've changed my plans a little bit. The track is still staying the same. I'm going to be extending this one here just a little bit more. This one here. A little bit more longer, and I'm actually going to put my goods shed over here instead, giving it a bit of a yard set off side. The initial plan for the two tracks over to here, which were going to be the actual goods line, I'm still going to put the lines in, but it's going to be for trains that are terminating, such as DMUs or small locomotives, etc. And I'm considering up at the other end here where the dead end is, I can't think of the siding, that's the name, can't think of it. I may put a timber merchants there, just a small little private siding. Not sure yet, we'll figure that out. The station waiting room looks quite good in place there. Obviously I'm yet to do any platforms, of course. The station main building will go here, and to be honest, I'm very, very happy with these Scaledale models, particularly the granite one. I knew it was going to be good, but it's exceeded my expectations. You know, the chimneys, the brickwork, the detail, the window frames, everything's extremely good. I'll turn it around just so you can see. And yeah, very, very nice kit. I'm certainly very, I wouldn't even call it a kit, just a building. Very happy with it. So that'll end up going about there. And one of the other changes that's happened is I've actually, as you can see here, got some custard and cream coaches. Now I've got 6 of them. Now these are the newer ones released by Hornby not so long ago. I'll show you the boxes shortly, but they're quite good. So 6 car trains, and as you can see, fits quite well and lengthy right there. So the track work, the platforms that'll go in place will be quite good. I'll back up a bit more so you can get more of a gauge of the size. So that'll look quite good, and I've tested them around the track at the moment just to see how they go, and very, very nice, very smooth. No buckles, if you want to call them that, when they go around corners quite hard. You see them tend to go a bit abnormal, so that works quite good. One of my other purchases has been a selection of Hornby's Pullman carriages. I've purchased about 5 of them, so I can run myself a nice lengthy Pullman train. Obviously, you've got to go with the ones that have got the working table lamps. Certainly got to go for those ones. These are the, I'm just trying to think which one, they're just the regular Pullmans. They're not K-class carriages or anything like that. I've got them at a good price. These are the ones also that have got the timber slats on the side, or the matchbox, is what some people call it. So they'll go well around the layout. Obviously, with those 2 lots of packs of carriages, the Pullman and the regular cream and custard coaches, you need a nice locomotive. So I end up getting my very first Black 5 from Hornby. Now I've already fitted a DCC decoder to it, one of my lens chips. Obviously, I've run it in by analog around a simple track on the floor, and I'm keen to get it started on this layout. The other one that I purchased is my very first King class locomotive. So this is King Edward, and yeah, looking forward to having him in the Black 5 pulling my my 5 to 6 coach trains. They're going to look very nice going around this layout. The other thing that's struck me at the moment, and part of the reason why the goods shed has now been moved over there in Iron Industry, is this section here. I'm actually going to expand a little bit more. This big cabinet that I've got sitting right there, I'm actually got the space to move it to another location in here, and this is going to extend probably about from here on an angle over to where that the cabinet actually is. So this cabinet over here will be moved, and I'm actually going to put a nice big industry right here with sidings and everything else. So if I don't want to come into the layout to do something, and I just want to do some shunting, I can just stand over here and do a heap of shunting over here. And still not sure on the industry, but I've got the space now to put in something good. So yeah, looking forward to it. Now the track still isn't going just yet. I've now in here to solder a heap of feeder wires, because a lot of these areas on the double track main line haven't got their feeders. The feeders have been put in for the station and sidings and everything over there. I've just got to connect them to the bus. But over here, haven't gotten any feeder wires connected to those as yet to connect to the bus. Some of the other side near the bridge and everything else too. So I'll get stuck into that. Okay, wired all the main lines up. So I've wired up this one, this one, this one, and this one, and the doubled main tracks that go around. And this is the first test to see if she actually goes. Success. Well, just tested her. She went round on that line, no problems, without any issue. And first things first, before I start testing this fully, is I'm going to get my Dapol track cleaner to go over the lines. Now, we'll see just how much rubbish it picks up. As you can see at the moment, nothing in there. And I'll power up and set her loose, and we'll see what she gets. Okay, we've just stopped her there, and let's take a look what she's picked up. A bit of sawdust. No surprise, really, considering how filthy these areas were. Now I'm going to empty this and change the pad over to a scrubbing pad, this little one here, and give the railheads a quick bit of a polish. Okay, now that that's all done, time to give this this little girl, little or big girl, whatever you want to call her, and these coaches a good run around the layout, and let's see how she looks. Well, unfortunately, I've been having a bit of an issue with my King class from Hornby, and I'm using a lens silver decoder. And one thing that I've found happening at the moment, as soon as I put this the chip in the locomotive and onto the tracks, it's shorting out straight away to the point where this wire here, the red one, has actually been melting the solder. And as you can see there, I've had to fix it up. Now, I haven't had to fix it up just once. I've had to resolder it at least 6 times. And as soon as I put it on the tracks, it shorts out. And as you can see here, you know, it's all connected correctly. So all this wiring underneath, so all this here which connects, you know, the left and right hand side of the wheels, the motor and everything to this harness, I'm actually considering it might be faulty. Because I've checked the chip in another locomotive and she's worked fine. But as soon as it goes in this, it shorts out and you get a big buzz and a little bit of smoke coming off this thing here. And it's basically heating up, it's just desoldering itself. So we'll do a little bit of fault finding and see what I can get. Well, I haven't done much. All I've done is unscrew the little harness here. And if we have a look over the other side here, you can see the right orange wire right here. It seems to be when they're in the process of actually soldered it together, you can see it's made of solder, but on the orange wire here, it's exposed wire, and I reckon the two of them are connecting, because one of them's the right-hand side, and I would believe the other one is the left-hand side. But it looks like it'd probably be shorting out, and looking at this one here, it looks like they've done the same again on this wire as well. So terrible job done by Hornby, and I think I'll desolder these and redo them properly myself. Okay, so it's the very next day. I've been busy working on the wiring inside, mostly the tender. All the motor wiring in the main engine itself was fine, but yeah, look, I thought I'd hit the record button and I actually hadn't, so you missed out on it, sadly. But essentially all the wiring in the tender here, from the DCC socket to the connection that connects the engine to the actual tender, it was all shorting out. The soldering was absolutely terrible. But anyway, no issues. It's now fixed and she is going. So now to get her running around the layout, I would say. So I'll get my King Class to pull my selection of Pullman coaches that I've just purchased, and first time they've been powered up. And I mean, most people know you get your table lamps with these sorts of ones, and yeah, I've got to admit I'm very, very happy and very smitten with these carriages. They're absolutely gorgeous, and she's going to look absolutely fantastic going around the layout.